Hello, my wonderful people. Obiakwane again. Oh, I don't arrive like a Land Rover. Now me, Okute Daily Talk. And I mean the talk here. Make on no vessel, so I never hear my voice. Get you never know me before, and you still want to know who did this lad. Nah, your one and only Okute Daily Talk. From my own corner, bringing to you this Monday broadcasting. Remember today, now 17th day. In the month of July and this year of 2023, my brother, things they happen. Oh, in fact, there's one headline I saw. This news have been trending since morning, but I said, can I bring it to my people or not? Let me tell you people the simple truth too. Make gonna see what thing they happen. Oh, and I remember saying Ohanaeze and Ohanaeze and Emefiele. They go they meet Tinubu instead of them to go and tell him to come and release Nnamdi Kanu. They are telling him to declare state of emergency in our own land, in their own land, in their own region, whereby what is happening in the southeast is not even an inch to compare to what is happening in the northeast, northwest, and north central, where we say, waiting will they see that place now, mass burial upon mass burial. But can you imagine that Ohanaeze will have the temerity and the nerve to call Tinubu? The only thing they want to make it do for the southeasterners is to declare state of emergency simply because of sit at home. Okay, another prominent man, where be PDP chieftain, where no be Igbo, they don't come reply that Ohanaeze Igbo. Make on hear what you talk. And there's another headline again, but let me read this one first. Why request to declare state of emergency in the southeast won't achieve anything? That is the simple truth. Even if you like to declare it from now until that kingdom come, federal government is going to lose their money. So we don't even care. The only thing we care is free Nnamdi Kanu and let there be peace. And I can categorically tell you that any day Nnamdi Kanu is out from the DSS dungeon, I can tell you the simple truth that no any single life will be lost again in the southeastern part of the country. We are peace-loving people. We don't know how to make troubles, and we don't kill. Let me assure you again that the people that are killing in our land is foreigners. If you can remember, the so-called 70-year-old man make it clear to all of us to understand that the Ebubagu militia is never Igbo. So all those ones now, Niger Delta militants and also foot soldiers of Fulani people. That is the makeup of Ebubagu militia. That is what Hope Uzodinjo bring to us to eliminate in the Olo zone alone. I know how many people they killed, courtesy of Hope Uzodinjo. Tomorrow, today he's jumping up and down. They're clapping for him. He's calling a meeting to release Nnamdi Kanu, whereby the day that, what do they call him, that appeal court on the September 13th last year, if I'm not mistaken, the day they declare Nnamdi Kanu free, discharged and acquitted. What do they call him? The then AGF, Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, he made one comment. He said he would call the Easterners, the Southeast governors, to have a meeting with them before they can decide on what to say. The Southeastern governors that this man called for meeting is Hope Uzodinma and the Devil Maye. These two people tell Malami not to release Nnamdi Kanu because they have turned him to be an enemy to themselves. So for Hope Uzodinma to come out now begin to tell us that he's working for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, let me tell you categorically clear, if you are hearing my voice, you are in Imo State, or you are in any part of the Southeastern, know it, that why Hope Uzodinma is doing this now is simply because the election of November 11 this year, he loses it completely already. Because of what he did in the lives of the Biafrans, in the lives of the simple agitators, killing them every now and then. Most of families now don't have child. Some mothers have been rendered childless, while some childs have been rendered orphans simply because of incident killings by Hope Uzodinjo. Upon all the things that happen in the north, upon all the insurgents, upon all the killings, it's only one time or two times you can hear that they used Tucano jet to bomb the forest. Upon they know where all these people they, upon they know their camps, but simply because not their own. But Hope Uzodinma have the nerve, the temerity to use Tucano jet to bomb a court simply because they said they discovered a bomb manufacturing factory inside there. They make that market in history. And you come out today again and tell us that you are fighting for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu simply because you want to buy the minds of Biafran people to vote for you. My dear, unless you can rig the election, unless you can rig the election, but Imo lives, they know the truth. After all, the first run, you didn't score anything. You are number 4th, and you are a Supreme Court governor. Maybe this time around, they will also use Supreme Court governor to give you that same seat. For lose, my dear, you don't lose woefully. So, this one you are jumping up and down. And the same Ohanaeze Ndori are calling the federal government to declare state of emergency in our own land. Okay, now. In another hand, though, my dear people, I can't even no cook up in Sinopa. Yeah, we're on. In fact, yeah, we're sound. Ohanaeze Ndori won't come back again. For that one, we talked before because of state of emergency. Now, listen to this headline again, it will make your ear to tingle for you to know that we don't have anybody. We are on our own. The prominent people who are supposed to fight for us, they are against us. Look at what Andy Oba says the other day. Not that I'm supporting Simon Ekpa, but Andy Oba, not Andy Oba, Ifeanyi Oba have never for one day come out and make any comment concerning the holding of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Not once, not twice. It's only Andy Oba, the one that went to visit what they call it, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in detention during the time of when they are running for elections. After the election, no one allowed Beya. And Ndori to President Tinubu, you know what they tell him? Deploy more soldiers to Southeast. At the same time, they still repeat this word. They slams $500,000 bounty on the head of Mazi Simon Ekpa. This message, I have read it before and it came back again. I'm not repeating news. I don't have that as my character. But this Ohanaeze Ndori that slammed Mazi Simon Ekpa $50,000 before, now they increase it, they add extra more $450,000. That means one before the people that is working this, they are they have connived with the Fulani government of Nigeria to do all these things. Anyway, I don't know who is who. I don't know whether to support Simon Ekpa or whether to support what do they call it? Ohanaeze Ndori, or whether to agree on the so-called Emma Powerful or Chike Doziem. In fact, these people have put confusion on the minds of the followers of Biafrans. I beg, may we not use our hand to spoil this movement that was started in peace. That is my own take. Remember my watchword. Let us be guided. Are you hearing me? Let us be guided. Let the gullibles know where to follow. People are supposed to stop ruling us like a sheep without a shepherd. Not simply because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have case. Then every other person now want to become head. Or who's in another person? Igwe that thing. It's only that a few people, a few greedy ones, that don't want to be under some people. They want to stand on their own. Anyway, what do I know? In fact, my dear people, let us go straight to the reason why we are here. Do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and also comment. All the very, very important and very, very necessary. Why required to declare state of emergency in the Southeast won't achieve anything, according to Reno Omokri. Ex-presidential aide Reno Omokri has said the request for President Malami to declare a state of emergency in the Southeast will not achieve the desired results. According to him, in a tweet via his Twitter page on Monday, the political analyst said the request to declare a state of emergency would only aggravate issues in the region and could lead to another crisis. The former aide stated that the continued sit-at-home orders are due to the continued incarceration of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. One day you have spoken well, despite the fact that it won't be now, but I categorically believe with you. Now this English, what I learned today. I beg you teach me this categorically. Oh my God, what I don't give me, I beg. Reno Omokri said the plan to bring peace in the Southeast was to convince President Malami Tinubu to release Kanu on the condition that he will give up violence to pursue his secession agenda and promote any political or social policy he has peacefully and democratically. He wrote, I am not sure the request for President Tinubu to declare a state of emergency in the southeast will achieve the desired result. In my opinion, it will only aggravate issues. Let's look at the challenge holistically instead. Why are there sit at home in the southeast? It is due to the continuous detention or continued incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu. According to him, now Nnamdi Kanu himself was a response to former President Buhari's attitude towards the southeast. He considered the region a dot in a circle and shortchanged them because constituents, for example, that gave me 97% cannot, in all honesty, be treated in some issues with constituency that gave me 5%. But Buhari's is gone, and that class of 1966 mentality which fought the civil war is no longer in control of Nigeria's affairs. There has been a change of guard. What lovers of Nigeria ought to do to bring peace to the southeast is to convince Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu on the condition that Mr. Kanu will give up violence as means of pursuing his agenda, and that he would promote any political or social policy he has peacefully and democratically. With Muhammadu Buhari out of the picture, I am not sure Mr. Kanu will reject such conditions, and if he is freed, the sit at home will die a natural death. That will be a less expensive way to resolve the crisis, plus fewer people will die, according to him. But if a state of emergency is declared and the soldiers and other security forces are deployed to the southeast, it will lead to clash with Mr. Kanu's supporters, who are not cowards, and recreate and entrench the type of atmosphere that led to the emergence of Nnamdi Kanu and the indigenous people of Biafra movement in the first place. The state of emergency will be a massive public relations public relations success for Ipob, and the recruitment into the group will increase along with anti-Nigerian sentiments amongst moderate southeasterners. But if instead Buhari president sets up a Southeast Development Commission and suspend the money he would have used to send soldiers to the zone to ensure the rapid infrastructural development of the Southeast, not only will he reduce anti-Nigeria sentiments amongst the Igbos to the barest minimum, even he can expect massive votes from that region in future elections. And I can guarantee you that is for sure. It is not every time that force and state of emergency works. What did the state of emergency achieve in the northeast, except to turn the region's people against President Jonathan, who actually meant well for them? The same scenario played out in the western region of Nigeria after Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa imposed a state of emergency there. In fact, Mr. Balewa's action triggered a most unfortunate series of events that nobody wants a repeat of. God forbid. Look, I hate to restate the obvious, but the Nigerian military is already overstretched with internal security issues, namely terrorism in the northeast, banditry in the northwest, and the farmer header crisis in the north central. Opening up another major front is not wise. We need a containment policy, not an expansionist one. According to Reno Omokri, he has spoken well since I know you. If President Tinubu accedes to the request of those wanting a state of emergency, he could open a Pandora's box, and after repeating history, we will accuse history of repeating itself. President Tinubu should inherit General Muhammadu Buhari's friends, but not his enemies. Nnamdi Kanu was a victim of the circumstances Buhari created to solve the situations. President Tinubu should thus create simultaneously different and better circumstances to do that. Yaram, this one is coming from Reno Omokri, the PDP chieftain. Ohanaeze ndị iberibe to President Tinubu, deploy more soldiers to Southeast, slams $500,000 bounty on the head of Mr. Simon Ekpa. The Ohanaeze Social Cultural Organization has called on President Malami to deploy more soldiers to the southeast region, stressing that Finland-based agitator Simon Ekpa has declared a second Biafra war. Nigerians gathered that the organizations, in a statement by its Secretary General Okechukwu Isiguzoro, also slammed a $500,000 bounty on Ekpa. According to Ohanaeze, President Tinubu should help the region by deploying soldiers to every corner of the southeast. Isiguzoro said, "We are telling Tinubu that the second Biafra war has begun. And I ask you, Isiguzoro, who are Biafran fighting with? They are fighting war against their own self. Did you have sense at all? Who is this Okechukwu Isiguzoro self? And why people have not called this guy to order? He keep on fermenting trouble every now and then. And he should deploy soldiers to all the nooks and crannies of the southeast. The southeast governors need help. And Ohanaeze Ndori is asking the southeast governors to defend themselves from external enemies. At this point in time, we can't allow somebody in faraway Finland to detect the peace. The government of Ebonyi State and the southeast must ensure that the terrorist activities of Ekpa are solved in his homeland. What we are saying is that Ekpa has declared a second civil war in the southeast, and anybody with useful information will be given $500,000. My dear, I have information about Ekpa. Can you bring that money to me? Chineke bukwa oku. Imagine be Finland no. Finland on oku mo ko n'enigwe. In a $500,000. Look at Okechukwu Isiguzoro that never even chop belly food. In a $500,000. Anu. This is a self-help to ensure that our people get a secure environment. The southeast governors appear to be weak, and they are using the wrong approach in the dealing with Ekpa. Our suspicion has been confirmed that what Ekpa is doing is to destroy the economy of the southeast. Since I know this Okechukwu Isiguzoro Abikilompe, I never see you one day come out and say, President Tinubu, please, can you release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? The only thing you keep calling is for the head of Simon Ekpa or whoever, even to the extent of telling the president to declare state of emergency, and now you can come again and told him to deploy more soldiers in the southeast so that they can kill the remaining Biafran people. Can you see that your brain is not working? Your brain is working anti-clockwise. Presidential election, they're gonna hear this one. Yeah, but it don't happen. Baba and his running mate don't they plead, and they said, I quote, "Don't cancel our victory. Over 25% in the Federal Capital Territory." Tinubu and Shetima begs tribunal. I never see something. She be on a rush. She go the organized meeting. They appoint CSO, FFO, CAOA, and every O's. But I never see anything. No. If the tribunal do anything or do anyhow, they go see anyhow. President Ahmed Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima have all the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal not to nullify the February 25th presidential poll. Tinubu and Shettima said the tribunal should not cancel the presidential election over the controversy surrounding the 25% in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. This was as they urged the tribunal to dismiss the petitions of the Labour Party and the East presidential candidate P2B. Their appeal was contained in a final address by their lead counsel, Wale Olanipeko. And I ask you, is it only P2B that is go to that court? You people know that you link P2B out. That is why everything you people are doing, you must call P2B. Why don't you call Atiku? There is a APM suit also waiting for Tinubu, and you keep on calling P2B. Is it only P2B that went to court? Have Atiku withdrawn his own case? Oh, okay, now I know. I don't say na P2B win the election and dig am out. That's why I don't even concerned about Atiku, eh? Okay, all P2B join on a sukrutum. Oh, Oyibo. In the address, Olanipeko described the arguments and testimonies of witnesses presented by the challenges as frivolous, bogus, and based on hearsay. Yet, you are begging, but you are still using harsh words. Okay, let us see where this one will lead you. He ordered the court to dismiss the petition because it totally lacked merit and substance. Okay, so 25% in the Federal Capital Territory is lack merit, but they use it to deny the same Buhari who hand over to Tinubu during the 2007 election, right? Yeah, I think 2007. Abi against Muhammadu, no, against Yaradua. He said that the removed contention of the petitions that Tinubu and Shetima's election should be cancelled for not scoring 25% or 1/4 of the votes recorded in the Federal Capital Territory was not backed by any fact known to the law, as the use of "and" in the Constitution is conjunctive and not disjunctive. Okay, control speaking Oyibo until you hear the final conjunctive and disjunctive. The appellant woefully failed to realize that judges do not act like the oracles of life, which is often engaged in crystal guessing, and thereafter will proclaim a new Oba in success to a deceased Oba. Judges cannot perform miracles in the handling of civil claims, and at least of all, manufacturer evidence was the purpose of assisting a plaintiff win his case, he said. Okay, we heard you very loud and clear. Adamu's romance with Uzodimma cost him APC chairmanship. This one is coming from our own brother, Ugo Chinyere, a member of the House of Representatives representing Idato Federal Constituency of Imo State. Honorable Ikenga Ugo Chinyere has said that the romance of the national chairman of the ruling All Progressive Congress, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, with the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinjo, cost him the exalted position. Adamu reportedly resigned from the office alongside the National Secretary of the ruling party on Sunday night, ahead of the party's National Executive Council meeting, slated for Wednesday. Reacting to the development, Ugo Chinyere alleged that Adamu was consumed by his relationship with Governor Hope Uzodinjo, which made him walk into many political landmines that have now cost him his position as the national chairman of the party. Ugo Chinyere, in a statement he personally signed and made available to Daily Post, correspondent on Monday in Abuja, urged President Tinubu and APC governors to complete the cleansing by removing Uzodinjo as chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum and replace him with Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun. According to him, though he is not interested in the politics of the ruling party, he is, however, concerned about the treacherous and unloyal people who parade themselves as loyal and looking for a way to get access to influence the president and security chiefs into keeping Imo as a bloody battlefield. He opined that with Uzodinjo's continuous stay as the PGF chairman, President Tinubu should be wary and expect more betrayals and sabotage. Ugo Chinyere recalled how Adamu and Uzodinjo have allegedly been fighting Tinubu since the days of presidential primaries. He pointed out that the Gestapo style in which Adamu announced former Senate President Adamu Ahmed Lawan as the consensus presidential candidate for the party against the positive of the ruling party's new working committee. He also pointed out how Uzodinjo reluctantly endorsed Senator Godswill Akpabio, Senator Jibrin Barao, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, and Honorable Benjamin during the campaign as consensus candidates of the ruling party for National Assembly leadership positions. Ugo Chinyere noted that Adamu's recent utterance that the ruling party had no hand in the selection of National Assembly principal officers was another pointer of his disloyalty to the President Tinubu. All this, the lawmaker said, were the handwork of Adamu and Uzodinjo, adding that it is dangerous if the governor is not removed as chairman of the PGF, as they worked hand in hand to sabotage President Tinubu. He said, after Adamu's resignation, Uzodinjo should be next. Tinubu has to complete the cleansing to avoid further sabotage and instigation against him now and in the near future. Governor Hope Uzodinjo of Imo State can manipulate the minds of new governors. The ruling party's new working committee can also be manipulated with the characters like Uzodinjo running around. The only way to bring back stability and genuine working relationship between president and governors is for progressive governors forum chairmanship to be given to a man with proven character and integrity and not a political gate crasher. According to Ugochinyere, Adamu worked against Tinubu. His resignation belated APC's Miko. A former governorship aspirant of All Poverty Congress APC in Rivers State, Honorable Bernard Miko, has said that the resignation of Abdullahi Adamu from his position as the national chairman of the party was long overdue. Miko alleged that Adamu worked against the emergence of Bola Tinubu before the presidential primaries and after his emergence as the candidate of the party. Daily Post report that Adamu allegedly tendered his resignation letter on Sunday night. However, Miko, while fielding questions on Arise Television's morning show program on Monday, said Adamu should have resigned immediately after the inauguration of the president as he did not support him before and during the election. He said, first of all, there's no crisis in our party, the APC. The second one is that his resignation should not come as a surprise. It is even belated. You know how a leader emerges will determine he will lead his people. In politics, you align the programs and policies of the government or the ruling party to public orientation. This chairman has shown from the beginning his preferences other than the preferences of the stakeholders of the party, according to Miko. From the beginning, he has shown that he is not a Democrat in the spirit of party politics. It's as chairman of the party, having emerged as the national chairman of the party, he should have shown neutrality from the beginning, but he never showed it, according to Miko. He came up trying to build a consensus around his own preferred candidate, which he didn't win. What was expected of him at that point was for him to throw his towel and say, look, I prefer someone else, but the person didn't win, according to him. But he worked against the emergence of Bola Tinubu. When Tinubu emerged as the preferred candidate, he also worked against his candidature. Now that our president has won, he has no choice than to resign. I think what he should have done immediately after the inauguration of president is to throw in the towel. It is a good development. It will even foster party unity, according to Miko. Troops intercept truck load of smuggled ammunition en road to Anambra State. Abeg, are they fighting war in Anambra State? Make I ask you. They're gonna see bullet you. Who imported this one? That is the question. At the end of it now, nobody will be arrested. That is why you see people keep on doing all this. Maybe this one is being imported by foreigners. Yes. The Nigerian Army says troops of 192 Battalion and Nigerian Army operating in 81 Division area of responsibility have busted an international ammunition smuggling syndicate while transporting a truckload of smuggled ammunition to Anambra State. A statement issued on Monday by the Director, Army Public Relations, Onyema Nwachukwu, said the operation took place on Saturday along Ajilete, Owede Road in Yewa North local government area of Ogun State. He said the development followed an actionable intelligence made available to the troops. The Army spokesperson said the truck was loaded with 720 packets of Red Star cartridges of 12 caliber, containing 25 cartridges per package, totaling 18,000 cartridges, and additional 250 packets of live black cartridges containing 10 packets each, totaling 2,500 packages of the same caliber. The suspect identified as Eric Suwevo, a Ghanaian national, and the driver, Mr. Lukman Sani, have been taken into custody and are helping with ongoing investigations. He said preliminary investigation has revealed that the weapons were smuggled from Mali via Idiroko international border. Where are our customs? Where did they? If they don't collect money and pass the same truck, they make it go, right? Because it's going to kill people. Now your enemies now go die. We're gonna hear why Adamu resigned from his office. Adamu's inability to account for 32 billion naira responsible for push for resignation. See money. Okay. There were controversies over the alleged resignation of the national chairman of All Poverty Congress, APC, Abdullahi Adamu. I can call him senator. Speculations has it that Adamu and the national secretary, Iola Omisore, are being compelled to resign over failure to account for 32 billion naira in the account of the ruling party. There have been reports on Sunday that the governor of Imo State and chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, PGF, Hope Uzodinjo, reportedly advised Adamu to resign because he cannot account for the money. Adamu's failure to account for 32 billion earned from the sale of forms for the 2023 general elections was the tipping point, according to party insiders. And a new working committee member revealed to the cable only 7 billion naira remains in the account. What happens to the rest of the money? Nobody can tell. Despite Adamu and Omisore's claims that accounts have been audited, details about the timing and selection of auditors remain unknown to other members of the party. How can the new working committee not be aware of the appointment? It is part of our responsibility to appoint auditors, and new working committee member questioned. When Adamu perceived the move to remove him, he reportedly sought support from the chairman of the party's state chapters. However, his efforts were unsuccessful. A party source disclosed to the cable by the APC constitution the proceeds were supposed to be shared with the zonal, state, and ward levels of the party, and they were not informed. So there was no way they were going to support him in this. 32 billion naira. Unlawful possession of firearms. DSS is wasting taxpayers' money. More lawyers push for Emefiele's release. The push for the release of the suspended governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has intensified as more senior advocates of Nigeria have described his continued detention at the Department of State Service as a shame to the intelligence community. The same thing that happens to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, make on no cry, the worst is yet to come. Since they say they will not have respect for the rule of law, let it happen to everybody so that they will know that any eye where they cry can also see. But it pains me that this person that did this also have a relationship with the Igbos because he is from Niger Delta or Benin, thereabout. Nigerian news record that the DSF filed a charge of illegal possession of firearms against Emefiele last week after a federal high court sitting in Abuja declared Emefiele's arrest and detention as infringement of his fundamental rights. The court has subsequently asked that he be released in 2 days or be charged to court. However, more lawyers and civil society organizations have faulted the continued detention of the suspended CBN governor. According to some of these lawyers, the unlawful possession of the firearms should not be the kind of case the DSS should be wasting taxpayers' money on. But is this? They said they arrested him on the charge of financing terrorism. So now it is illegal arms. They said illegal firearm possession is a charge that even police can handle. Speaking with Vanguard, a law professor, Sam Erugo, said the charge for illegal possession of firearms is undoubtedly an afterthought. He suggested that the DSS had no justifiable reason to arrest Mr. Emefiele in the first place. It means that after the illegal arrest, the DSS has been searching for a charge to justify the arrest, but they can't find any. With all the noise since last year about Emefiele's crimes affecting national security, it is surprising that DSS will detain him for 1 month without any charge and had to wait for court orders before coming up with a spurious charge. The action of the DSS is condemnable as a clear affront to the rule of law and in breach of Emefiele's fundamental human rights guaranteed under the 1999 Constitution, particularly his right to personal liberty, fair hearing, and freedom of movement. Our adversary system of criminal justice does not permit arrest without credible evidence of a crime committed by the suspect. Mere suspicion is not enough, and of course, it is wrong to arrest and start looking to see what crime could be found on or charged. This is the impression we get of Emefiele's arrest and detention and the story about illegal possession of firearms. At any rate, whatever the crime, the rule of law requires DSS to arraign and accused before a court of competent jurisdiction within hours of arrest. They do not have to and do not have the right to detain a suspect for days just to file any charge to justify the arrest and detention. The question we keep asking is, must DSS or other security agencies in Nigeria detain a suspect for long before charging him or her to the appropriate court where his or her guilt or otherwise will be determined? Also reacting to the development, former Nigerian Bar Association National Publicity Secretary Mr. Kunle Edun said, "I think we should commend the DSS for obeying the order of the Federal High Court, Abuja, in charging Emefiele to court. I see this move as tactical, probably just to buy more time for them to conclude their investigation for complete 1 month, which is taking embarrassing too long for an agency that made serious allegations about 8 months ago that Emefiele was involved in the sponsorship of terrorism and other financial crimes." As simple as that. That is why they want to arrest him last year now, and they said no, you can't arrest him because your this don't have merit or whatever it's been called. I expected the DSS to do better than this. Feeling a charge of unlawful possession of firearms against Emefiele is disrespect to the intelligence community. I don't know how the crime of unlawful possession of firearms allegedly committed by Emefiele will constitute a threat to the security of Nigeria that would warrant the arrest to charter a plane to arrest Emefiele in Lagos and fly him to Abuja. Unlawful possession of firearms. I beg you, make don't kill me. Do they give other Nigerians same executive treatment? It is high time we started calling on security agencies to account for how they utilize public funds so they don't abuse their office. As simple as that. Peter Obi tells Labour Party obedience supporters what he wants for 62nd birthday. The 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi had retreated that he is not ready to celebrate his birthday in today's Nigeria due to the deplorable state of the nation. According to Obi, he made a decision to stop celebrating his birthday about 20 years ago, and he is ready to stand by it. Taking to his Twitter page on Monday, Peter Obi disclosed in a personal signed statement that he will be turning 62 on Wednesday, 19th July 2023. And some of his supporters, including members of the Biden family and Labour Party, have been pressurizing him about celebrating his birthday. He, however, told them that instead of celebrating, all those who wish to do so or give him any gift should look around them and give such gift to those in need. The former Anambra State governor urged them to visit hospitals, orphanages, homes of disabled, and aids and give such gifts to them generously. Obi also emphasized that despite all the negative things going on in the country at the moment, he believes a country that works is still possible and all the citizens not to give up on their hopes for a better Nigeria. He wrote, "Wednesday, 19th July 2023 marks my 62nd birthday. While I remain immensely grateful to God for his infinite mercies, I still maintain my decision of over 20 years after I will not celebrate my birthday in today's Nigeria with the current deplorable state of the nation. However, some friends, members of the Labour Party and the Biden family and supporters have asked how can they join me in celebrating that day and even present some gifts. Let me humbly and respectfully appeal to all those who desire to celebrate me with any kind of gift to look around them and extend such gifts to the people in need, especially in these difficult times. I urge them to visit hospitals, orphanages, and homes for the aged and people with disabilities and offer them such generous gifts. They can also visit schools, of basic studies in remote areas and support them with basic amenities they need. Those who wish to do more can visit various IDP camps in different parts of the country. I intend to do same thing. Aside from sharing my time and resources with the less fortunate people around me, I plan to raise money for schools, hospitals, etc. I already said that the sacrifice for a better Nigeria must now start from us, the leaders and the well-placed. The state of the nation, of our nation, must give us cause to pause and ponder. There is far too much insecurity, violence, and bloodshed in our land today. This month alone, over 200 lives have been lost to sustain violent attacks in Mangu local government area, Plateau State. Similarly, in Benue State, over 100 lives have been lost in recent times. The latest being 27 persons killed in Adogo, Ubam, Akpoma, and Diom communities in Ukum local government area. There are also many other cases of kidnapping and killings in different parts of the country. I want to celebrate it in a new Nigeria where the lives and properties of citizens will be secure. I want to celebrate in a productive Nigeria that can create opportunities for our young youths. I want to celebrate in a Nigeria that works for all and which Nigerians can be proud of. This, and not my best day, is the true celebration that will be beneficial to all Nigerians. As Nigerians, we must always expand our imaginations of possible, believing as we do that a new Nigeria is possible. Signed by P.O., which represents Peter Obi. As if that one is not enough, our money is still going. We're gonna see Malami, former AGF, allegedly takes another wife. After a year, he married Buhari's daughter. We're gonna continue the marriage. No be our resources. As a retired as a former minister, they will pay you gratuities now. Retirement benefit. The former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, are reportedly taking a new bride on Saturday. Nigerians learned that the former minister allegedly got married to Hajia Rekia Bashir in a private nikah ceremony on Saturday. Rekia Bashir is now Malami's fourth wife. Confirming the development, a source told Sahara reporters, Malami, after being done with Buhari's daughter, whom he married to subvert his removal from the office at the time, it is time to move on to others. Like this latest marriage just consummated. This platform recalled that Malami's new marriage comes exactly a year after he took the third daughter of former President Muhammadu Buhari, Nana Hadiza, as his third wife. According to reports, the former AGF had on July 8, 2022, similarly married the daughter of former president in a private ceremony at the presidential villa. It was gathered then that Buhari's former spokesperson, Garba Shehu, confirmed the marriage to the Punch. He was quoted to have said, "It is true, the AGF got married to the president's daughter, Hadiza Buhari's daughter, from a previous marriage, and is now the third wife to Malami." She is said to have been previously married and has 6 children. Chineke, hey, while I know they finish. Oh, the person said Malami married, have married before and has 6 children. And just like that, Rekia Bashe was previously also married. So Malami self, with all the more money we get, now second hand, just they marry, they full everywhere. Anyway, my wonderful people, my viewers and subscribers, anyway, I wanna do, I beg, make gonna take this one, they step down. Because me self, more, I don't ready now say, make I give up this broadcast. Because all this toko without play or without dancing go make me don't talkative. So anyway, we do make it accept my salute. I had to throw away salute. Collect the toilet, buzzer for you. So make you not forget to subscribe, like, share, comment in anything that you are doing. In all my videos, anyone is them for you to share or comment or like. My brother, do not forget to do that, because without you, there will be no good daily talk, and without a good daily talk, that not my kind of news to you, because remember, I mix my news with comedy so that everybody go to dolificate. And also things like this. So make on a day, you enjoy on a day. Until you hear my voice again, I still remain your one and only Okute Daily Talk for my own corner, bringing to you this Monday afternoon news. Have a nice day, Mother Almighty to bless us all, the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. So make on a do what? Make on a just the cool, because I'm coming back again with another blockbuster. Have a nice day. Onye nwa megene no nyere onu ka Chineke jikere na-egozi anyị n'afa Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ. Amen.